Welcome back. Welcome back to Full Circle with Mikali. How you doing this morning? 111 Let us know where you're watching us from. Be part of the conversation. Send in your questions. Switch TV KE on Instagram. Switch TV Kenya on Facebook. If you're an entrepreneur or looking to get into that space, well, we're here for you. It's time for Advice Circle. Welcome to the show, Manish.
Thank you, Mikali. How are you?
I am fantastic. It is so cold.
It is.
It is so cold. It's raining and everything, but we're here. We're here. And you're here to help us today. Yes. And, when we talk about entrepreneurship, and we've seen different bits of it on the show today. Earlier on, we were talking about hair products, and she's still yet to graduate, but still at it, and she found a way to just do business, freshly made, something unique. And then we talked about a book and how we need to be unique and stand out. But business is not different.
Yes.
Because we need to also look at the things that are already in the market. What problem are we solving? What niche is there for us? What is it that you do, Manish, so that we also start from understanding how you're coming into this conversation?
Awesome. So thank you, first of all, for having me on the show. My name is Manish, and I'm currently the CEO of Cradle.com, that's CRAYDEL.com. It's Africa's largest platform that connects students and working professionals to colleges and universities, not just in Africa, but across the world.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. So this conversation, you're the perfect person to have this conversation with. So when we talk about entrepreneurship, what is it that I need? Is it meant for just a particular group of people who are a certain way, or is it open for anybody who feels that they can get into the scene, that they can actually do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think especially in Africa, I think we see a lot of entrepreneurship, much more than I've seen in any other part of the world. I think the fundamental starting point for entrepreneurship is conviction. I mean, there's a problem that you see around you that you want to solve, and then you have a conviction that you can solve it, and you're willing to give rest of your life solving that one problem. And I think that's the most important ingredient of you being an entrepreneur.
Okay. So identifying what the problem is, and that is what I think Natalia was saying, that she struggled with her hair, and she's like, I need something. I need something to work on my hair, and she found a solution for that.
Absolutely.
So if we're able to see that, it doesn't matter if other people are doing it.
Absolutely not.
It's the conviction that you have that what you have is what will solve the problem.
Absolutely not. It doesn't really matter if that same problem has been solved in other parts of the world by other people. In fact, it's great validation for you that that problem exists and a solution exists for that. Absolutely. If there's a problem around you that you think you can solve, go for it. That's entrepreneurship.
Okay. And when people look at maybe entrepreneurship, most of them will look at the things that they love to do, maybe hobbies or passions that they have. Is it easy, hard? How, you turn that into a money-making, enterprise?
Absolutely. I think the best businesses are born out of real passion. My wife is a baker. She was a digital marketing student. Then, she married me, got pregnant, and she took a break from her job. And she learned how to bake, and she started enjoying baking. And now today she is one of the finest bakers in the country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So it is okay for you to turn that. But how do we turn that? Most of the times if it's something that you love to do as a hobby, and I cook for my family and they enjoy my food, then being able to monetize that, how do we standardize or find a way to just be like, this is what is happening in the market and this is how I'm going to charge this or charge that?
Yeah. I think so the starting point is that you have to find your unique space in the world, in that sort of space of passion. What is the unique offering that you're bringing to the table? What sets you apart from what everyone else is doing? I think someone talked about not conforming and finding your own space in the world, finding your unique self. So you have to find your unique edge in that passion space. Second is you need to have a business plan. I mean, I will not kid you on that. I mean, passions do not turn into businesses without a real business plan. You need to have a business plan. How you're going to market the product, how you're going to distribute the product. I think the lady before me spoke about the book she has. I'm going to have a chat with her in terms of how to create a marketing plan around it, how to create a business plan around it, how to create a distribution strategy around it, how to create the right pricing, pricing that people would want to buy your product at. So there are a lot of ingredients in terms of converting a passion into a real business. It starts with creating a business plan.
Okay. And all the things that you mentioned are part of what the business plan is all about.
Absolutely.
So you need to know, even when I'm starting this business, to whom am I going to offer this service, or who is going to buy this product? What is the age group that will be interested? Do they have the buying power of that as well?
Absolutely. I think like what's really changed in the last few years is social media.
Yes.
I think social media has allowed a lot of people who have tremendous passion, tremendous skills to convert those passions and skills into real authentic businesses.
Yes.
So social media is the first go-to platform that you can set up your business in, start talking about your products, and then get a target audience that can, embrace your product.
And the one thing that most people will say when they want to start a business is, I don't have the capital. I don't have the money to do that. And probably I'll just wait, or maybe I'll raise money, I'll save up to be able to start the business. Would you advise them differently apart from waiting?
Absolutely. Start small. Start small. Put some of your own money behind it. I think, so just to give you my own example, I was the MD of Scan Group, been there for 7 years, very well settled position, nice salary. Every 27th of the month, your salary will ting ting hit your bank account.
It's a beautiful feeling.
It's a beautiful feeling, yeah. So I think so it was not easy for me to give up that job and to start something from completely ground zero. I had, of course, put all my savings behind what I want to do, and I think that really comes down to conviction. I mean, if you're really convinced and really passionate about the problem you're trying to solve, capital will follow you.
Okay. And when you start the business as a young entrepreneur, you're a small enterprise, and you're in there, and somehow 8 months in, 6 months in, you're not getting sales, or you've not gotten return on investment.
Happens.
So what happens then? Do I give up? How do I then continue with the dream if I'm running out of funds?
I think that's why I talk about conviction quite a lot, because conviction will carry you through the most difficult parts of your entrepreneurship journey.
Yes.
I mean, I've read a lot of books around Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs. All of these entrepreneurs were one day away from bankruptcy. I think Elon Musk talks about in his book that he was 1 day away from bankruptcy 3 times in his life. And I think the conviction that you have in your idea, you will find a way out. There's always a way out. In case of Elon Musk, he borrowed money from his father-in-law. I mean, you have to give up all your egos, take all the help that you can get around you, ask your friends for money, ask your family for money, if you are extremely convinced about what you're trying to do here.
And that means you have to
get your other people to buy into your conviction. That's the most important thing. The only way people will lend you money to do what you want to do is when people buy into your conviction. So if your conviction is honest, it's extremely well thought through, it's extremely well articulated, you will find people around you who would want to put money in your business.
Absolutely. And I love the way that you say you need to, well researched, you know exactly what you're doing, because there's a lot of work that happens behind the scenes. So if I'm going to start a business today, I must have thought about or researched on how it's going to do, who am I targeting, and when I have all this information, then it's easier for me to be like, please, I will refund this money if you're able to just sort me out here and there.
Absolutely. But having said that, no matter how much research you do, no matter how much assumptions you make, your assumptions will always go wrong. You will underestimate the amount of money you need. You will overestimate the quality of your product. You will overestimate the response from the market. So your assumptions that you make will always go wrong. Be ready for it. I mean, when we started Cradle.com, I mean, I told my co-founders that we are going to hit this point 6 months down the line, once again 1 year down the line, where we'll be cursing ourselves as to why did we leave our jobs to start this. You just need to keep thinking about why we are doing this, okay? And the conviction will carry through those points. So yes, you can do all the research. I mean, every businessman has a bit of instinct and research about what you want to do and why you're doing this and what's the success going to be like. But the problem is that those assumptions are most likely to go wrong.
Okay, we have a question here for you. Good morning, Mikali. What if I am interested in different kind of businesses? Is it okay to put them all under one, or do I have all the businesses standing alone on their own selves?
I have a very clear point of view on this.
Okay.
And I want to make this point of view very, very open. I think, and as Steve Jobs talked about it, the idea of focus. I mean, there are hundreds of businesses that I could do today. I have experience in marketing, technology, education, healthcare, etc. But the most important thing that I think we need to sort of develop more on here in Africa is just focus. Rather than doing 4 or 5 businesses at the same time, take one business that you are extremely passionate about and then go all after that one business and leave everything else apart.
Okay.
Because even in our business, we have so much distractions. There are so many 100 different things we can do in our current business, but we decided to say no to it. Apple, Steve Jobs said that he is successful. Why? Because he said no to every other opportunity that came his way. He focused just 5 years developing Mac, and that's what the success was.
Great. So what would you say are the do's and don'ts? And I know there are many, but just the do's and don'ts of, if you want to get into entrepreneurship.
I think I will start by saying focus. As I just said last.
Mentioned, yes.
Absolutely. I think we see sometimes people They have an Uber on the side. They have a little farm going on. You know, they have their day-to-day job that they're running.
But they said you need to have 7 streams of income for you to be a billionaire.
Yeah. No, you can't be a billionaire. I mean, historically look at it. I mean, look at historically every single billionaire in the world. They do not have many lines of business. They have one. Amazon.com has Amazon.com, and that's it. Steve Jobs had Apple, and that's it. He did not have side hustles. Elon Musk did not have side hustles. You know, so build a massive business, and once you're extremely successful, then use that money to maybe invest into other businesses that are true to your passion statement, but essentially focus on one business. Side hustles will not make you a billionaire.
Okay, so focus is one thing that they need to do.
Absolutely, focus is one thing, and I think in terms of starting a new business, I'll tell you my own story, right?
Okay.
So as I said, I was in a very comfortable job. I was fairly well respected in my field. I was handling clients like Safaricom, Equity Bank, KCB, KRA. I mean, I was handling some very large budgets of businesses across sub-Saharan Africa. And then at some point, I thought that this is not something that I can spend the rest of my life doing. This is not me. I was selling data bundles for Safaricom, creating marketing campaigns for that. I said, that's not what I want to do the rest of my life. So I decided to quit. And I was very, very confused because I had family, I had 2 kids. I had education to take care of, you know. One thing I did not have was loans. You know, I've made sure I never have loans in my life. But if I have, I pay them off very, very fast. So I got a career coach to help me out in this journey. And I'm 42 years old. I still need a career coach. And I advise this to everyone watching this show to have a coach. No matter how successful you are, how senior you are, it always helps to have a coach by your side. So she said, and I was all confused all over the place, you know, going back and forth. One day I want to quit my job. Second day, no, I can't quit my job. You know, I was in massive, massive panic. So then she said, tell me the most difficult thing you've done in the past 1 year. I said, I climbed Mount Kenya. I mean, with my body weight, it was not an easy task.
Good job.
Yeah. So she said, how did you do it? So I said, when the last base camp is easy to reach, but from the last base camp, when you go to the final summit, which starts at 2 o'clock in the morning, and then you reach there at 6 o'clock in the morning, so you can see the sunrise. I had given up. I said, I'm just going to Photoshop an image of me on the summit, and then that's it, and no one needs to know. So she said, how did you then summit? I said, I took 200 steps, and I said, 200 steps is not so far away from the base camp, so if I don't make it, I'll come back.
Yes.
So I took the 200 steps, and it felt okay. You know, it was not that difficult. So I took 200 steps and then 200 more steps and stuff like that. And she said, that's exactly what you need to do to plan about your new venture. She says, what's the first thing you need to do, you know, to feel comfortable when you're not giving up your job? So I said, the first thing I want to do is understand my passion or the idea I want to have. Is there a real business opportunity around it? So I made a business plan for my own business. The second step for me was to share that business plan with a few people who probably could be future investors in my business. So I took the business plan to them, said, if I was to build a business like this, or a prototype, an idea, I made a business plan. I went to them, said, if I was to build a business like this with my experience and my pedigree, and this plan, would you want to invest? And they said, yes, we would want to invest. So that was step 2. I mean, of course, they saying they want to invest or they will invest does not mean they will actually invest, but it gives you enough validation for you to take the next step. So the next step was to actually make a working platform. So I made the working platform. I released it online to a few friends and family, and they said, this is amazing. We would want our kids to sort of apply to colleges from there. I show it to people in my own office, and they said, why was this platform not there when we were kids growing up, you know, for us to explore all these options of colleges? And that gave me enough conviction at that point to say, you know, when I had a Zoom call with my boss, and I said, I quit.
Oh my God.
So I think it's a journey, right? It's not that romantic where you say one day that, you know, flip off my coin and I quit my job.
No.
You have to think through this. You have to think through. Of course, I had a massive conversation with my family, and I would want to say that, you know, for anyone to be successful in the entrepreneurship journey, the most important ingredient to that is to have the support of your family. Because I told my wife that you're going to go through hell. We won't have money like the way we have. You know, today we have holidays for our kids. We won't be able to go out on any vacation for the next couple of years. And this is not going to be turned around in 1 year or 2 years. It's going to take 3 to 4 years for it to be meaningful, where we are feeling that we are creating an impact both financially and in terms of what we're really trying to do.
Oh my goodness.
So I think the support of your family. So I had to change my kids' schools because we could not afford to pay the same fees. So I had to talk to my kids, why we're changing the school. Yes. I said, Papa is trying a new business. We can't afford to pay as much as, we could, earlier. So you had to make a lot of accommodation. So there's a lot of planning and thinking, and you have to take people around you along with you.
Absolutely. I was about to ask for your parting shot, but I think that's it, unless there's something else that you need to add on to before we go on a break.
I think, and I want to say that for the parting shot is that I think business, you can do a lot of small businesses and make a lot of money in your life. But I think the important thing is, how do you immortalize yourself in life?
Okay.
I was very scared of death. I was always very scared of death. And I thought, one day, all of this that I've built, everything that I love, everything that is dear to me, is going to be gone. It's going to be a black hole.
Yes.
And I said, how do you immortalize yourself so that you build something that lasts you, that once you die, there are people you're using your product and service even after you're gone. And then Steve Jobs died, I think in 2014, 2015, I was in Kenya. I cried here. I was a huge fan of Steve Jobs. And I said, that is amazing. This guy doesn't know me at all. I've never met him or seen him. But he dies in US and I'm crying for him in India. So I said, you need to build something that will last you. And I think that's, once you have that conviction about building something that you really find meaningful, that you want to leave a legacy behind. So I think my parting shot to entrepreneurs is that don't just think of building a business, think of building a legacy.
Absolutely. Manish, thank you so much for coming through.
You're most welcome. Thank you.
You have blown our minds with amazing nuggets of wisdom this morning, and we appreciate it.
Santi.
We're going to take a very short commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go too far.